Four starched white shirts, button at the neck, and he'd sit in the shade and watch the chickens peck. And his teeth were gone, but what the heck? I thought that he walked on water. Said he was a cowboy when he was young. He could handle a rope, and he was good with a gun. And my mama's daddy was his oldest son. And I thought that he walked on water. If the story was told, only heaven knows. But his hat seemed to me like an old halo. And though his wings, they were never seen, I thought that he walked on water. He tied a cord to the end of a mop and said, son, here's a pony, keep her at a trot. And I'd ride in circles while he laughed a lot. Then I'd flop down beside him. And he was 90 years old in 63. And I loved him and he loved me. And Lord, I cried the day he died, 'cause I thought that he walked on water. If the story's told, only heaven knows. But his hat seemed to me like an old halo. Though his wings, they were never seen, I thought that he walked on water. I thought that he walked on water. If I surveyed all the good things that come to me from above, if I count all the blessings from the storehouse of love, I'd simply ask for a favor of him beyond mortal king, and I'm sure that he'd grant it again. I want to stroll over heaven with you some glad day, when all our troubles and heartaches are vanished away. Then we'll enjoy the beauty where all things are new. I want to stroll over heaven with you. So many places of beauty we long to see here below, but time and treasures have kept us from making plans, as you know. But come the morning of the rapture, together we'll stand anew, while I stroll over heaven with you. I want to stroll over heaven with you some glad day, when all our troubles and heartaches are vanished away. Then we'll enjoy the beauty where all things are new. I want to stroll over heaven with you. I want to stroll over heaven with you.
I want to tell the family how sorry we are for your loss, how much we love you, how encouraged we are by your walk, and what a blessing it is to have had y'all placed in my life. We're here today to memorialize Mr. Noah Raynell Lee. And it says he was born on Saturday, January 5th, 1935 in Ware County, and he died on Thursday, April 30th, 2020. He was 85 years, 3 months, and 25 days. And he had a wife of 65 years. This coming May 28th would have been 65 years that they'd lived together. And he had a wonderful family, one that he loved, one that he cherished, and one that encouraged him greatly, and he encouraged them. His 3 children, survived by 3 children, Carol Bennett and Dale, Tammy Jo Clayton and Barry of Cedar Key, Florida, and Susie Lee of Waycross. He has 4 grandchildren, Alan Bennett and Michelle, Amy Cruz and Andrew of Lakeland, Jerry Lee and Melissa of Waycross, Dylan Clayton of Cedar Key, Florida. 6 great-grandchildren, Alan Michael Bennett, Nathan Bennett, Andrew Morgan, Dalton Lee, Hunter Lee, and Michaela Cruz. 2 sisters, Glenda Inman of Hayhira and Pat Major of Blackshear. Numerous nieces and nephews. He also had a son who preceded him in death, Jerry, who we were gathered here not too long ago for his services. And that weighed heavy on his heart. Talked with him after the funeral, and he said, I can't understand, you know. He said, I know God don't make mistakes. He said, it's hard when you have to bury your child. And he said, I don't know what we're going to do, but the Lord will get us through it. And that was his consolation. The Lord will get us through it. And he has, and he will. And he'll get you through this also. You know, I was talking with Miss Bernice this morning, and I wanted to get a little more insight and information. And, you know, you look at the family, and you look back at the history, and the one thing I come up with, you know, 4 things about this family, and that is it's love. It was started, and and love has endured all the way through. They've had their struggles. We've all had struggles. Struggles sometimes bring us closer together and make us stronger. Faith was very strong in this family. Faith took them a long way. Faith is important. And without faith, we're nothing. And perseverance. We play the hand that God's dealt us, and we don't question. We just keep going. We keep going. She told me that her and Mr. Raynell had been married for 65 years. She said 10 years was great. 10 years was a little bit of a struggle. And they went through a trial where he had a drinking problem. And Susie came along and had their family and had a handful. She had a handful. And she finally come to the point where she said, I can't live like this. And so she was at work one day, she said, you know what? She prayed, and the Lord said, just don't go home. And so she made her mind up that she wasn't going to live in that. And she put the onus on him. Do you know what he done? He straightened his act up. He quit drinking. 45 years he's been sober. What a testimony. What a testimony. What a trial the family went through before they got to that point. But you know what? That's what makes you who you are today, is because of what God allowed you to go through. And you didn't quit. You didn't give up on it. You fought for it because of that love that you had from the very beginning. God blessed you with a wonderful family, a wonderful group of kids. She was telling me about Susie. And I told her, I said, I said, from the very beginning, I knew that y'all were a very special couple, because God don't give special people to anybody. He gives them to special parents and special families. And when you see the love that Susie brings to this family and the love that they show her and the cord that she holds all of them tight with, that's why God blessed them with Susie. And she was telling me a story about when Susie was 6 months old. Susie was sick. Susie was deathly sick. Wasn't sure if she was going to make it. She said she'd been at the hospital with her for 2 days, hadn't slept, been by her bedside, never left her. And she says, I'd been praying the whole time, just praying, God, don't take my baby. God, don't take her, don't take her. She says, but that day, God changed my heart. He said, God, not my will, but yours. I just ask you that if you do take her, give me the strength to seal through it. She said that when the doctors had come in and would give her a shot, she said it was like giving a baby doll a shot. She wouldn't even move. She wouldn't even flinch. She basically was lifeless. But she said after she gave Susie back to God, they came in and they gave her the shot and said them legs went to twitching, and she knew that God had answered her prayers. And you know, all we want is for God's will to be done. And sometimes we don't understand why things come out like they do. But she said she knew then that God was letting her keep her baby. And she's always lived by that faith thereafter. You know, you look at the trials that we face in life. You know, if you pick up the paper and you read what's going on, and you see this, and you see where this couple's been married for 6 months, they're already getting a divorce. This couple's been married for 6 years, they've got 3 kids, and they're getting a divorce. God tells us to persevere. Don't give up. Don't give up on what he's ordained. Don't cut him short. And, you know, 20 years into her marriage, she drew the line in the sand. And she told him, I'm not going to live in this anymore. I love you, and there'll never be anybody else. But I can't live in this. He changed. He straightened up. And she said that she would not trade her marriage for nothing in the world. She loved him. She honored him. He loved her. They loved their kids. The kids loved them. And they were together. She said, not to say there wasn't some bumps and bounces on the road. But listen, we're in life for the long haul. Whatever God sends our way, we need to be prepared for it and need to be willing to stand up and take it. So God has given her the strength to accept his decision, but he allowed her to keep her baby girl, and she's still here, and she's still taking care of her, and she will as long as she got breath in her body. And that's what we need, more people like that. She said that, you know, there's a lot in life that we don't understand, but we have to draw our strength from somewhere. There's no better place than to draw it from the Lord. And she said that when Mr. Raynell quit drinking, that the serenity prayer was something that gave them strength. All through the years, that prayer has been important. And she asked her to read the serenity prayer. She said, a lot of people only knows the first verse. She said, but I want the whole thing read so everybody can hear the words of the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace. Taking as he did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it. Trusting that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will. That I'll be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy in the next. So much truth in that. It's all about being obedient to his will. And even when we don't understand it, just step up and accept the hand that he's dealt to us and realize he's going to get us through to the next step. And you know what? This life is temporary. Mr. Raynell has left this life. He's taken his last breath. Scripture tells us to be absent from the flesh and to be in the presence of the Lord. And one day, we're not going to have any breath in our bodies. And we're going to be at that same point too. Enjoy your loved ones while you can. Hug them. Tell them you love them. Encourage them. And if something comes up that you don't agree with, don't let those arguments turn into something bitter. Ask for forgiveness if you've done anything. If they've done something wrong, hey, accept their forgiveness. But life is too short to not love and care for and encourage each other. And if we'll do our part, I promise you, God will do his part. He's always been faithful and always will, to the very end, do everything he can to help us get to where we need to be. And it's not always going to be easy, but we know that his word's true. And we know that he's faithful. And she talked about the many times that he's revealed himself to her through prayer. And that's where she gets her strength from. And if it wasn't for that, how could she endure? But you know, we've got a beautiful family here, and in lieu of all the circumstances we're going through, you know, this is different times. With the coronavirus going on, you know, normally we would be, you know, hugging and visiting and you know, fellowshipping, but we can't do that in these times. But Miss Bernice, I'm going to come one day when all this is over, and we're going to sit down and have a big hug and a big talk. I love you and I appreciate you. Oh Lord, can't beat that. Can't beat that.
Let my nephew know because I knew how he was, so I had to let him know it. But I just want to say a few memories that we have of Daddy. You know, first of all, Daddy, we love you. We're going to miss you every day. You were one of a kind to us. You always made sure you told us that you loved us. We've had some good times going hunting, and fishing, and camping for the weekend on the river, or an all-night coon hunt, frog digging. We go rabbit hunting, you know, coon hunting. We done it all. We never, ever told us we couldn't go digging when we was doing something like that. And then we never knew what we would bring home to us. We've raised a pig in the house. We've raised a raccoon in the house. We've had squirrels in the house. And he'd bring home whatever he found by the road or where he worked. If they was a trash pile, my daddy would go through it. So I guess that's where I get mine from, like go through people's junk. And he also had all these little funny sayings. Some of them were not perfect, so I will not say them. He would say, you know, well, while I'm gone, we'd tell, you know, Daddy, we're going to run. He said, I believe I drive a car. He It might be hot or cold out there, so he tells us, I believe that's right. He said, if not, go ahead and run home, and I'll bring the car to you later on. And he said, we get up, especially us girls, our hair wouldn't be combed or brushed, and he said, man, you slept too long because you done letting the rats nest in your hair. And then came the great and the great grand. And they were going to not be a full-time babysitter, he told Mama. But if we didn't make it by there at least once a week, he'd call. Y'all all right? Why ain't y'all come by and bring the babies? So we made sure that some of us, if not all of us, would make a stop by there once a week. And Daddy changed after the grandbabies and the great-grandbabies came. Whatever they done wrong was okay. And if he didn't, if it wasn't, they didn't know it because he'd go in and fuss his mama about what he done. So, he loved them dearly. And if they needed anything, he'd tell them go see Grandma. Grandma made sure they got it. And he'd make sure Mama knew that he had to get it for them. Didn't matter pretty much what it was, if it was in reason, they got it. Now us kids, it was a little different. You know how we do our grandbabies, So, and he always shared everything. He told us, if we didn't have enough to share with everybody, not to get it. And him and his mama always shared everything that they had with everybody. Neighbors, friends, relatives, it didn't matter who you were. If they thought you would eat it, use it, they shared it. When they go pick vegetables, they always made sure they had plenty enough for the kids that they wanted. They would even sit down and shell bushels of peas, put them in the bag, ready for the freezer for them. All we had to do is go by and get them. And I'm going to miss that. Really. Yeah. So, we would leave, if they weren't home, we'd leave them on the front porch. So, Daddy, one last time, we love you. We're going to miss you. And when we get to heaven, we're going to all have us a big hug and a reunion. Goodbye, Daddy.
We stand and bring our loved ones to the Lord for eternal rest. We pray for God to comfort and give peace for this test. We say goodbye and leave them in the earth's cold, cold ground. But friend, they won't stay there. One day a trumpet will sound. It's not forever. You're just parting for a while. It's not forever. We're gonna miss their sweet was called.